super excited to be here and honored that Bragg Jam was important enough to enough people to show up and participate. So hopefully everybody in the room has heard of the Bragg Jam Concert Crawl. But it's important for me and those who help shape the Bragg Jam story that everyone knows sort of where we came from and maybe why we do what we do. The story of Bragg Jam really begins with our matriarch, Julie Bragg, Bragg swim school fame. Julie taught both my wife and 5-year-old daughter how to swim. And I bet at least half the people in this room, their kids or themselves, have the same story. Julie's the mother of 2 sons, Brax and Tate, both talented boys with their own musical abilities and interests. In the summer of 1999, the brothers were completing the last leg of a cross-country road trip. They had to make it back to Macon by July 23rd. They had scheduled a show to perform at the Rookery with bandmates Tim Potts, Frank Kern, John Walker. They were performing as the Buckleys. Tragically, the Braggs never made it back to the show. In Ozona, Texas, the boys were involved in a car accident that took both of their lives. Despite the horrific event, the Buckleys, with no less than 12 other local musicians, met on that July 23rd, 1999, and held the first ever Bragg Jam. Of course, at the time, it was simply a memorial held to honor friends and help heal a devastating community of local musicians. As part of this tribute to honor Bragg's affinity for the outdoors, particularly the Ocmulgee River, the donation jar was circulated to help raise money for the Ocmulgee Greenway, as it was then called. It was a conceptual idea to put a river walk along the river through downtown. Subsequent years of this memorial jam would see the donation jar and all cover charges go to support this cause into the evolution of what we know as the Ocmulgee Heritage Trail. As the memorial grew each year, Newtown Macon stepped in to serve as a fiscal agent, channel any money that the jam earned into the trail. But truth be told, by 2004, Bragg Jam was costing Newtown more money than it was raising. So in 2005, the 501c3 Bragg Jam Inc. was established with a board chaired by Heather Evans. That year, Bragg Jam welcomed 43 paid performers to Macon, including the Drive-By Truckers, who performed at the then newly renovated Capitol Theater. Throughout the early 2000s, Bragg Jam enjoyed steady growth from a handful of venues and 30 to 40 artists, peaking at nearly 90 acts across 20 venues throughout the city, including names such as Randall Bramlett, Jason Isbell, Zach Brown, Drive-By Truckers, Marshall Tucker, Blind Boys of Alabama, Moon Taxi, and really too many to list. Over the past 23 years, it's crazy. In addition to our signature concert crawl, Bragg Jam has hosted Moonlight Miles 5K, the Fly South Music and Barbecue Festival, booked and promoted many one-off shows such as the Mike Mills Rock Concerto featuring Robert McDuffie. We've served as the fiscal agent for the Magnolia Soapbox Derby and the Macon Venue Project. We've created a long-running Arts and Kids Festival, as well as the Second Sunday Concert Series, originally created by the College of Order Initiative. Countless board and event volunteers have contributed millions of hours of community service to help make Bragg Jam the fixture that it is. So much more than a one-night concert in my mind. Bragg Jam has produced more than 1,000 individual live music experiences. We've paid more than $1 million to local artists and artists abroad. We've provided a massive economic impact to Macon Urban Core, and we've contributed over $200,000 to charitable causes, most notably the Emerson River Park, honoring the legacy of our founding and the Bragg brothers' love of that space. So that's the story of Bragg Jam. That's where we are today. Of course, this has been the elevator pitch, the Bragg Jam story. It glosses over multiple headaches, near nervous breakdowns, multiple failed projects leaving us owing money rather than earning anything, countless sweaty nights and a few below freezing days. It isn't a story of the endless complexity of booking, scheduling, and relying on the good nature and willingness of others to help do what we do. It doesn't tell the story of COVID transforming our work and the entire music industry overnight, and canceling the concert crawl for 2 years in a row right when I started as president. I want my Bragg Jam story to really underscore that we are not a they. So often on social media, our group of volunteers, barely holding it together, are referred to as a nefarious or ominous they. Why didn't they book this band? Or why did not they give me a better time slot? It's a complaint we hear a lot. And I just want to say that we aren't a they. We're you. We all live here, work here, we aren't paid a dime to do what we do. We do what we do out of love. And my hope, and I think I speak for all of the board, is that you love us back. Macon, which is after all a music city, as long as we continue to claim it, Macon is a music city. And Bragg Jam is going to do everything that we can to make it so.